Hey, Craig Sommers here today to talk to you about wild harvesting edible plants. Here we have a beautiful stand of watercress, and watercress only grows in pure spring water. And we're here near the beach in Northern California, but there must be a spring nearby because this beautiful spring water is flowing through and all this watercress is growing. But there's something that is extremely important that you should know about watercress and picking wild foods in general. Oftentimes there are poisonous lookalikes that will grow right next to or in with the edible plant. In this case, we have this wonderful stand of watercress, and right next to it we have poison hemlock growing. When the poison hemlock is young, it looks just like the watercress. It takes an expert to know the difference. So you can use a guidebook like this one, this mini guide from Peter Ragnor that shows what poison hemlock looks like, but really you need to be an expert to know the difference. So know your wild edibles, enjoy them, but do it with caution. Horsetail only grows where there's moisture under the ground. So if you were looking to dig a spring or find a wetland area to grow plants, if you find horsetail growing, you know it's an area that stays wet. Horsetail is also an excellent source of silica. So there are people who make teas from this. You have to strain it well. You don't want to get any of the fibers in you, but the teas are really good for building bone. Silica is amazing. Something called biological transmutation, where they'll take the silica, our bodies will take the silica and transmute it into calcium in our bones. And you can prove that with chickens who will eat no calcium, and they put them on a calcium deficient diet, and their eggs will continue to put out eggs high in calcium. Where are they getting it from? It's biological transmutation. You're getting silica. So this is a thistle flower, and the very famous milk thistle, the seeds that would come out of a pod like this, are used to make a very potent liver detoxifier. It's always also very high in antioxidants. Well, most thistles in the United States and around the world are edible. The leaves are very nutritious, although they have a lot of little prickers that get you. So the best thing to do if you want to eat your thistle plants is to run them through a juicer. You can juice the entire plant, make a very delicious and nutritious drink. And if the seeds are good, you juice those, you get some of that milk thistle seed juice. Your liver will really thank you. And what I like to do is kind of pick off the flowers. This one isn't coming out so good, but you get a little bit of this purple stuff and just kind of chew on it. Good stuff. Milk thistle. You pay a lot of money for milk thistle capsules in the store. Of course, they're worth it, but you could also go out and find some thistles on your own and chew on them. One of the species of yarrow, and this is a highly antibacterial, antimicrobial herb. What you could do is you take a leaf like that, you chew it up, and then spit out kind of a little green clump. And if you have a cut, you can put that on your cut and it will stop it from getting infected. Napoleon used yarrow when his army got wounded, people got wounded in battle. They would find the yarrow in the field, chew it up, and put on poultices to stop the cuts from getting infected and save their soldiers' lives. So here's another one for you, yarrow. So here's a little baby pine tree. And of course there's many varieties of pines all over the United States. And what you can do with these pine trees is you can break off the young tender shoots and you can chew on them and you could eat them. As a survival food, if you were starving in the woods, you could eat some of these shoots on pretty much any pine tree and it would help sustain you. The inner bark is also edible, so it's a good survival food, and of course high in antioxidants. Have you heard of pignogenol? Substance that you would buy in a health food store, very expensive, high in antioxidants. Well, you find that in grape seeds, but you also find it in the pine bark. And the Native Americans used to take pine trees and make tea out of the needles. It makes a really nice tea. So there's another one for your herbal medicine cabinet. Okay, so you see on this pine tree some pine tar coming out of this hole where a branch once was. Pine tree sap is a wonderful expectorant. So you can dig out some of this sap and make a little bowl out of it and swallow it. Try not to get stuck on your teeth because that's not fun at all. But if you swallow it or put it in the capsule, you'll absorb it, it'll go into your bloodstream, and it'll get deposited in your lungs. And what that does is it acts as, like I said, an expectorant. So mucus, non-productive coughs, you have all this heavy stuff in your chest, you just can't get it off, that pine tar will loosen it, and you can cough the stuff up and get it off your chest and feel so much better. It's a wonderful, wonderful expectorant. Here we have Oregon grape, and the root of this plant has berberine in it, the same medicinal substance that's found in golden seal. If you've ever seen golden seal powder, it's yellow. So if we dug up this root, you'd see, if you scrape the bark away on that root, that it's yellow. And that would be berberine. You can take that, soak it in some type of a grain alcohol, pull out the active components, and make a tincture or a liquid extract of the golden seal root. And this plant also puts out berries. So here are some of the wonderful berries, and they're green right now, but here's a purple one. And the purple berries you could actually eat. And they don't taste the best, but being colored, they're going to be high in antioxidants, and they're not too bad. A little tangy, but pretty good.